Showers and storms are on the radar at this hour. Will they end before you wake up? Your forecast is first. Plus,
stuff was flying all over us. I was in the car. I thought my whole car had shattered.
breaking news tonight. A body is discovered after an explosion and fire destroys apartments in Northeast. We have a live report from the scene.
And there's still no sign of a missing swimmer in Montgomery County. Just ahead, we'll tell you why the search tonight has been suspended.
I learned nothing in this briefing, nor did I expect to learn anything in this briefing.
Lawmakers unhappy with administration efforts to calm concerns. Fast-moving new developments over the release of Bo Bergdahl. The news starts right now.
Non-stop local news for Maryland, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. This is News Channel 8.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Morris Jones. We begin with the weather. Storms and showers are rolling through the area right now. Will they be severe, and how long will they last? Meteorologist Steve Rudin joins us first. Steve?
Already Morris live as of the 10 o'clock hour, and we are looking at the first round of showers overhead right now. And as we move through the overnight hours, another round of showers and storms likely. Just off to the west of us, we are looking at that area of low pressure along with that cold front that will ride through the region later on tonight. Head in a little bit closer, and you can see the heavier storms now moving across Prince George's County and off toward the north and east. Really, nothing has become severe. We have no watches. We have no warnings at this time. Of course, should any be issued, you'll see a crawl at the bottom of your screen, and you can also check out WJLA.com. This is what it looks like with our futurecast as we move through the overnight hours. Here are the rain showers. Temperatures will slowly fall into the 60s. The good news for the rush hour commute tomorrow morning, it appears that it will be mainly dry. However, roadways will likely still be wet, and then our skies begin to break and our temperatures warm up nicely to near 80 degrees. The big question is, how long will the nice weather last, and what to expect as we move into the upcoming weekend? I'll have your full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Morris?
All right, thank you, Steve. We'll see you then. And breaking news in Northeast Washington, a neighborhood rocked by an explosion. Firefighters spent hours getting a two-alarm blaze under control, and just in the last half hour, we learned that fire was deadly. Our Tom Rousey's been at the scene all night for us. He's live with our update. Tom?
Yeah, Morris, definitely the news neighbors around here feared. Police confirming a short time ago that a body has been found inside that destroyed building right there. You can see even at this hour, firefighters still out here. Just a moment ago, they were still spraying water on it, even in the midst of a rainstorm, to make sure the fire is completely out. We're told by police a body has been seen in there, but they're unable to get to the body right now because of how unsafe the building is.
Oh. My God.
Purdy Jenkins was overcome with emotion over her neighbor who was unaccounted for. That neighbor lived in the building that blew up. He'd been seen parking his car out back just before the explosion.
Boom, like a loud boom.
The explosion this afternoon shook homes all over the neighborhood.
Flames and smoke was way up in the air. I mean, it was really scary.
So it was terrifying. It was terrifying.
Barbara lives across the alley from the 4-unit condo that blew up, and she was outside.
The debris just started coming over and hitting us. And by the time the debris stopped and we looked up, the whole back of the building was gone.
Neighbors say the fire was horrifying to watch. The whole thing was so scary, several people told us they initially thought it was a terrorist attack. Many rushed to see if loved ones were okay. One man lives in the bottom unit right next to the blown up building.
Most of the time we're home, and for some reason today we just happen not to be home.
Local police and fire, as well as federal investigators, are looking into the explosion. Some neighbors reported smelling gas before it happened, including the friend of the man who is missing.
I've been smelling it for the past 3 weeks when him and I go out walking his dog.
And again, the sad news that someone's body, according to police, is in the midst of all that rubble there. Now, as far as what could have caused this, although a number of folks say they have smelled gas in the neighborhood, I was told by one neighbor that building doesn't actually have gas service. Although it's under investigation what caused this, it's not necessarily a gas explosion, although it might be, according to the fire department. I asked the police if there could be foul play or something else going on here. They said at this point, everything is under investigation. Live tonight in Northeast, I'm Tom Rousey, News Channel 8.
All right, thank you, Tom. And we're following breaking news out of California at this hour. The U.S. Marines say a military jet has crashed. Went down in a desert community 90 miles east of San Diego. The pilot ejected safely. No word of any injuries on the ground. We're following this story on News Channel 8. Stay with us for updates. New tonight, Manassas police have arrested a man who shot a teenager with a BB gun at a bus stop this morning. And it's not his first time doing it. Raul Soto is being held without bond. Police say he approached a 14-year-old boy near Rolling Road and Country Lane and warned him to use the crosswalk. Police say he then followed the teen to his bus stop, pulled out a BB gun and shot him in the stomach. The boy's injuries were minor. Soto is charged with malicious wounding. Police believe he also shot a different teenager with a BB gun last month. Turning to developing news in Montgomery County, rescue crews spent the night searching for a missing 19-year-old. He disappeared while swimming with friends at Triadelphia Reservoir. A short time ago, crews were forced to stop searching because of bad weather. Roz Plater joins us live with the very latest. Roz?
Morris, the heavy rains moved in here about an hour or so ago, and that is when they made the decision, the tough decision, to suspend that search for tonight. There were teams here from both Howard and Montgomery counties, and using some sophisticated technology, they had gotten some hits, but they still could not locate that missing swimmer. Search and rescue teams, including divers, scoured a cove area of the Triadelphia Reservoir looking for any sign of the missing swimmer.
We're pretty confident based on the witness accounts and the information that we have that we're concentrating on a cove area not far from the Greenbridge recreation area. We've used sonar equipment and thermal imaging equipment. Yeah, that's fine.
The call for help came around 6 in the evening. Authorities say a large group of both men and women had been swimming when a 19-year-old male suddenly disappeared below the surface.
Somebody very astutely had a cell phone with them. They were able to get back and call for help.
Searchers brought in night vision technology, hoping to continue their efforts even in the dark.
Once it becomes dark, you're going to have to follow the dry suit around the water.
But the weather made that impossible. We should note there are multiple signs posted that say no swimming is allowed. I'm told the teens did their marking of the territory around that reservoir area, and they are securing the area tonight. They expect to resume their search tomorrow morning as soon as the weather permits. We're live in Brookville. I'm Roz Plater, News Channel 8.
All right, Roz, thanks for the update. Authorities have identified the woman who was murdered inside a College Park hotel room. She's 25-year-old Katina Cortez from Far Rockaway, New York. Her body was found in a room at the Ramada Inn on Baltimore Avenue yesterday. It appears she was shot to death. Court records show that Cortez had prior arrests for prostitution. Sources tell News Channel 8 that she was in the D.C. area advertising on Backpage.com. No word on any murder suspects at this time. A teacher is in custody tonight for videotaping a foreign exchange student in the shower. Darian Tucker teaches physical education at the McLean School in Potomac. The 39-year-old is charged with recording video of the 18-year-old girl showering in his home. Police say on 2 occasions, she caught Tucker sliding an iPad under the bathroom door. On another occasion, the student set up a camera of her own and allegedly caught him sliding his iPad under the door again. Last night, police arrested Tucker and say he confessed to the crime. Late-breaking developments over the release of Bo Bergdahl. Today, we saw stunning new video showing the moment that the Taliban freed him. But it's not quieting questions about the prisoner exchange. A nighttime closed-door session was held on Capitol Hill to discuss the situation. Just moments ago, lawmakers spoke to reporters.
I learned nothing in this briefing, nor did I expect to learn anything in this briefing, except that I continue to maintain that this individual, who we are glad that Sergeant Bergdahl is home, but the exchange of 5 hardcore, hardest of the hardcore Al-Qaeda/Taliban will pose a threat to the United States of America and the men and women who are serving.
The Obama administration says it remains focused on Bergdahl's health and transition. And as Brian Todd reports, clues are now coming from an unlikely source, WikiLeaks.
A dramatic message in the early morning hours, June 30th, 2009. Soldier is missing. It's apparently the first report of Sergeant Bo Bergdahl's disappearance. That report is classified, but we know what it says because it's among thousands of leaked military documents posted by WikiLeaks, chronicling the hours and days right after Bergdahl vanished in Afghanistan. The reports offer two contrasting pictures of what might have happened that day. About 5.5 hours after he disappeared, U.S. soldiers intercept a radio communication, presumably by the Taliban. The translation? An American soldier is talking and is looking for someone who speaks English, indicates American soldier has camera. But a day later, another communication from the Taliban, indicating they picked up Bergdahl in a latrine. We were attacking the post. He was sitting, taking expletive. He had no gun with him. The Army's initial conclusion is that Bergdahl left of his own free will.
The Taliban knew that they had somebody very valuable. I mean, they've kidnapped other Westerners, but they haven't kidnapped other Western soldiers.
July 1st, a day after Bergdahl's capture. According to a U.S. radio intercept, one Taliban fighter says, "I think he is big shot. That's why they are looking for him." Another says, "Can you guys make a video of him and announce it all over Afghanistan that we have one of the Americans?" The documents leaked to WikiLeaks show that early on, the Taliban wanted to trade Bergdahl for 15 Taliban fighters in U.S. custody and some money. At the same time, U.S. forces were using drones, surveillance aircraft, every asset they could deploy in a furious search for Bergdahl.
During the 7 to 9 days, probably no one slept at any headquarters. This was the constant focus. And so at the end of those days, you are just physically and mentally exhausted.
Ironically, WikiLeaks is also a key source of classified information on the other side of this case. Top secret dossiers of all 5 Guantanamo detainees who Bo Bergdahl was traded for. They say the 5 men are all senior Taliban commanders. 1 had close ties to Osama bin Laden. 2 were wanted for the murders of thousands of Shiite Muslims. All of which has complicated the story of Bergdahl's capture and muddled the administration's contention that the detainees were safe to release.
Brian Todd with that report. One other development about the situation now. Bergdahl's small Idaho hometown has canceled plans for a celebration later this month. They say it's because of security concerns and negative emails and phone calls. We also have late-breaking news about the scandal involving Donald Sterling. The LA Clippers owner has agreed to sell his team. He will also dismiss his lawsuit against the NBA. The league banned Sterling after racist remarks were caught on tape. It's believed the team will be sold to former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer. Back at home, a traffic alert in Annapolis. Route 50 eastbound at Route 97 is closed because a sinkhole has opened up. You can see the hole from our news chopper. It's about twice the size of a normal manhole. It's 2 feet in diameter and several feet deep. Traffic was backed up for miles during the evening rush. Engineers, a geologist, and other technicians are devising a plan to fix it. They'll fill it with stone, then place a concrete patch on top. We're told this section of road could be closed for up to 24 hours. You should make alternate plans if you need to drive the area tomorrow. We're still in stormwatch mode at this hour. Rain and showers are in the area, but will they clear out for the morning? We'll have the latest forecast with meteorologist Steve Rudin next. Steve's back on Stormwatch. We are getting a good shower. I can hear the rain outside here through our downspout. I see the water all over your video. So
yeah, the roadways are wet and will stay wet as we move through the overnight hours. We have another round of rain that will move through around midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning. Keep in mind we're live as of 10 o'clock, so when you see radar, that's 10 o'clock. So if you're wondering why isn't it raining at your house, Mill, because it's a replay.
There's that shot I was talking about. Look at the reflection.
Down Pennsylvania Avenue, and we did have periods of heavier rain, and some of you have seen quite a bit of lightning and gusty winds. Nothing has become severe, and we're not looking for any widespread severe weather outbreaks. However, don't be surprised if we do hear a few rumbles of thunder, and some of these cells will have the potential, especially further south of us, to become a bit stronger. High today, it was hot, although it didn't feel as hot as it was yesterday. 90 for our high temperature at Reagan National Airport. The average for this time of year, 81, and 99, the record set back in 1925. Temperature at the airport this hour now 70 degrees. There are the showers. Dew point levels in the middle 60s. That's why it still feels a bit more humid out there. However, dew point levels will fall and it will begin to dry out as we move through the day tomorrow, and by Friday looks absolutely wonderful. 67 at Dulles. It's 68 in Frederick. Baltimore coming in at 70 and still hanging on to 77 degrees at Lexington Park, Maryland. You can see where the cold front's located. Only 60 in Pittsburgh, the same in Detroit, 61 in Chicago. The warmer, more humid air which suppressed now to the south of us. Area of low pressure riding along this cold front. That's what's causing the thunderstorms to develop. The atmosphere is still a little bit unstable. However, if this was happening during the daylight hours, we would have been looking at a much more significant event across the mid-Atlantic. That's because the daytime heating, we don't have it right now. It's dark outside, and our temperatures are beginning to fall. This right here, this is our next band of showers that will move on through, and then we will eventually see our skies begin to clear, but that's not going to happen until tomorrow morning and into the early afternoon hours. This is what it looks like on our future cast as we move through. Actually, this is a closer in view of our satellited radar, and you can see the heavier bands now moving off toward the north and east once again during the 10 o'clock hour, and then more rain just off to the west of us, so it will stay wet for tonight. Here's that area of low pressure. It swings on off toward the northeast. That cold front sweeps to the south, high pressure to the north. That's what's going to help dry us out very, very nicely, and it looks like a nice day on Friday, a really nice day on Saturday, and maybe a chance for a thunderstorm or two during the day on Sunday, but by no means will it turn out to be a washout. Here's our forecast as we move through the rest of the overnight hours. We'll hear a few rumbles of thunder. Periods of rain may be heavy at times, 62 to 68 degrees with winds out of the northwest at 8 to 12. Then for the day tomorrow, a few lingering showers mainly during the early morning hours, then gradual clearing, upper 70s to lower 80s. And the extended outlook brought to you by Paisano's Pizza. Shows highs at 85 degrees on Saturday. There are your chance for a few showers on Sunday and Monday. Temperatures in the middle 80s, nighttime lows in the 60s. Morse?
All right, thank you, Steve. More local news coming up on News Channel 8.
That I am a proud gay man that just happens to be the principal of Wilson High School.
A pride celebration leads to a big announcement from the school's principal. More on his speech and reaction in a full report next.
No matter gay, straight, or bi.
You're watching News Channel 8.
Wilson High School in D.C. held a Pride Day today to show support for the gay community. And as Mike Canine reports, the celebration came with a surprise announcement from the principal.
I have not made this declaration before.
His hands trembling, reading a speech he wrote the night before, a speech he was not sure he'd actually deliver until this moment. Wilson High School principal Pete Cahall said something he's waited 50 years to say.
That I am a proud gay man that just happens to be the principal of Wilson High School.
Cahall came out at the school's second annual Gay Pride celebration, and when he handed over the microphone, he doubled over, overwhelmed. Until now, he'd only told a small circle of friends, not even his family knew.
You know, what I kept thinking is, how can I be the principal of Wilson and oversee a Pride Day and tell kids to be themselves and be who you are, and me not do that? It's hypocritical.
Cahall says he was inspired to come out by Jason Collins and Michael Sam, and now he hopes to inspire others that they can come out too. The response from students was immediately positive.
That was so unexpected. I had no idea. I have so much more respect for him now.
I was really surprised, that's for sure. Happiness is happiness, you know? If you happy, I'm happy.
Because of this Pride event, the Westboro Baptist Church has threatened to protest at Wilson High School. In response, students are preparing a counter-protest.
We cannot be intimidated by them, that we will be here, we will be proud, and we will be standing strong.
Speaking at the rally, Mayor Vincent Gray had a message for Westboro.
They can go straight to hell because that is not the behavior that we tolerate here in the District of Columbia, and they can take it back where they came from, and I hope the people run them out of there as well.
In response to this event, the Westboro Baptist Church has threatened to protest outside the school starting at 8:15 a.m. on Monday. If the group does show up, these students say they'll be ready with their counter-protest. Reporting in Northwest, Mike Canine, News Channel 8.
We're back with more on the check of the 7-day forecast right after this. Crickets, worms, grasshoppers, and other insects were on the menu for one day only at a pop-up pestaurant in D.C. today. Dozens devoured critters for charity. Some even took part in an insect-eating contest. For each critter eaten, $5 went to D.C. Central Kitchen, donated by Ehrlich Pest Control Company as they celebrate their 85th anniversary. The D.C. Central Kitchen serves over 10,000 meals in the district each day. back to normal food tomorrow.
I like the girl who actually was eating it and she pulled it out of her mouth and she's like, I don't know what that is. I'll just eat it anyway. Why not?
Well, protein.
Go for it.
Anyway.
Exactly. Hey, we are looking at wet weather for the rest of the night. It's going to be wet for the rush hour commute come early tomorrow morning, but we'll clear things out nicely, Morris, by the end of the day, near 80 degrees. And look at the weekend.
I'm ready.
Great for bike riding. Saturday, nearly perfect. Maybe a bit warm, a bit more humidity, and a chance for a few thunderstorms on Sunday and Monday. But Sunday will not be a washout. Nighttime lows upper 50s to lower 60s.
All right, thank you, Steve. That's all for this half hour. I'm Morris Jones. The news continues on News Channel 8.